Have you ever wondered how to save for a house down payment in extreme ways? Now, we all know the traditional methods of saving. Cutting back on lattes, eating out less, maybe even taking that second job. But for many of us, these methods aren't quite getting us to our goal. Whether you're saving for your very first home or looking to upgrade to something more spacious, the challenge of gathering enough for a house down payment is a mammoth one. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool with a teaspoon. Sure, every little bit helps, but progress can feel agonizingly slow. And then there's the property market, racing ahead while our savings seem to be crawling at a snail's pace. So if the traditional ways aren't working for you, hold on tight because we're about to dive into some extreme saving methods. Scene script. Imagine going an entire month without spending a single penny on non-essentials. That's the Zero Spend Challenge. So what exactly is the Zero Spend Challenge? It's a method of saving money where you, quite literally, spend zero on non-essential items for a set period of time. It could be a week, a month, or even longer. How long you take on the challenge is entirely up to you. Now you're probably wondering, what counts as non-essential? Well, think of it this way. If it's not food, shelter, utilities, or necessary transportation, it's probably non-essential. This includes things like takeout meals, movie tickets, new clothing, and yes, even that daily coffee shop run. The potential savings from the Zero Spend Challenge can be substantial. If you're used to spending $50 a week on takeout alone, that's $200 you could save in a month. Multiply that by the number of non-essential expenses you have, and you could be looking at a significant amount of money saved. But the Zero Spend Challenge is not for the faint-hearted. It requires a whole lot of discipline, creativity, and a willingness to say no to instant gratification. You'll need to plan your meals in advance, find free entertainment, and resist the temptation of sales and discounts. Remember, every penny saved is a penny closer to your house down payment. Now, don't let the word extreme scare you off. The Zero Spend Challenge is also an opportunity to reassess your relationship with money. It's about distinguishing between wants and needs, and understanding the value of delayed gratification. Plus, it's a temporary challenge, not a permanent lifestyle change. To succeed, keep your eyes on the prize, your future home. Visualize that dream kitchen or the backyard where your kids will play. And remember, every sacrifice you make now will pay off in the long run. Yes, it's extreme, but think of all the money you could save in just 1 month. Ever thought about making your living situation work for you? Welcome to the world of house hacking. House hacking is a creative strategy where you purchase a property, live in part of it, and rent out the rest. It's like becoming a landlord, but you're also a tenant in your own property. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Let's delve deeper into this fascinating method. There are a few different ways you can go about house hacking. One common approach is buying a multi-unit property, like a duplex or a triplex, living in one unit and renting out the others. This helps to offset your mortgage costs, and in some cases, you can even live for free while your tenants pay your mortgage. Another approach is to buy a single-family home and rent out the extra bedrooms. You could also consider converting a basement or a garage into a rentable unit. So how much can you save with house hacking? Well, that depends on your property and the rental market in your area. But imagine for a moment that your mortgage is $2,000 a month, and you're able to rent out part of your property for $1,500 a month. That means your housing cost is now only $500 a month. Over a year, that's an $18,000 reduction in housing costs. That's a significant chunk of change that can go towards your down payment savings. To succeed at house hacking, it's essential to do your research. Understand the rental market in your area, know the laws and regulations about renting out property, and learn how to be a good landlord. It's also crucial to be comfortable with the idea of sharing your living space with others. Remember, house hacking isn't for everyone. You might love the idea of cutting down your housing costs dramatically, or you might cringe at the thought of having tenants in your personal space. But if you're open to a little bit of adventure and a lot of savings, then house hacking could be a game changer for you. It may sound unconventional, but house hacking can significantly reduce or even eliminate your housing costs. You may have heard of the 50-30-20 rule for budgeting, but have you ever considered supercharging it? Now, if you're scratching your head, allow me to explain. The 50-30-20 rule is a simple way to allocate your income. 50% goes to necessities like rent and groceries. 30% is for wants like dining out or a new pair of shoes. And the last 20% is for savings. But what if we tweaked this a bit? What if we turned this rule on its head and made it a bit more extreme? What if we went for a 50-20-30 rule instead? Let's break that down. 50% of your income still goes to necessities. We can't really compromise there. But here's where the shift happens. Now, only 20% is allocated for wants. This might mean fewer nights eating out or waiting a bit longer for that new gadget. But here's the kicker. The final 30% goes into your savings. By making this switch, we're boosting our savings by a whopping 10%. Doesn't sound like much? Well, let's say you're earning $3,000 a month. That's an additional $300 straight into your savings account. Over a year, you're looking at an extra $3,600. Now that's a chunk of change that could make a serious dent in your house down payment. But before you dive headfirst into this, remember, it's not for the faint-hearted. It requires discipline, a keen eye on your spending habits, and a lot of determination. It might mean making sacrifices and cutting back on some of the things you love, but the rewards, oh, they are plentiful. Imagine the satisfaction of seeing your savings account grow month after month. Imagine being closer to owning your dream home, and most importantly, imagine the freedom and security that comes with it. So, are you up for the challenge? Are you ready to supercharge your savings? Remember, it's not just about saving money, it's about making your money work for you. It's budgeting, but not as you know it. It's tough, but the savings are real. So there you have it. 3 extreme ways to save for a house down payment. We've delved into the Zero Spend Challenge, a radical yet effective approach to curbing unnecessary spending. By focusing on essentials only, the potential savings are truly astonishing. We also explored house hacking, a creative solution that leverages your current living situation to generate extra income. This could be anything from renting out a spare room to using your space for storage rentals. And finally, we've supercharged the traditional 50-30-20 rule. By dedicating more than half your income towards savings, you're on the fast track towards your down payment goal. These methods aren't for the faint-hearted. They require dedication, discipline, and a dash of audacity. But the rewards? A house to call your own, sooner than you might think. Yes, these methods are extreme, but remember, the path to homeownership doesn't always have to be conventional. So why not give these methods a try? After all, the most important step is always the first one. We wish you the best and never give up.